Welcome everyone in YouTube land. This is your host, Mr. Justin Hamza Tyler, your parent relations executive here at Jim's American Academy, Qatar. Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone out here today. We only have a few days left, inshallah. But we're here today for the main event, advanced placement via College Board, right? So this is a program that a lot of parents have, and we want to answer a lot of the questions for you. So you know in the American curriculum that you can increase your rigor just by signing up into an advanced placement program. But we want to dispel the myth today. Can anyone just sign up for AP? How do you sign up for AP? What are the benefits of an AP program? How many classes do we offer? We're going to answer a lot of these questions today, okay? So we have three panelists on the panel, all right? But we have a presentation that we're going to go through. And don't worry, I'll get the presentation from Mr. Gregory, and we'll link it to tomorrow's newsletter, inshallah. But speaking of Mr. Gregory, we have Mr. Gregory here, our upper school principal. We have Mr. Jeffrey Wessel, our upper school assistant principal. We have Mr. Cox, our longtime history teacher and the dean of academics here at Jim's American Academy for upper school. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to let Mr. Gregory introduce himself, Mr. Wessel and Mr. Cox, and then we can go ahead into the feature presentation for today. So, Mr. Gregory, take us away.
Yeah, so I've been here at the school, as many of you know, for multiple years. We're really excited and proud of our advanced placement, program. I think actually we're probably one of the most advanced with offerings in the country, if not number one. AP Capstone Diploma. We offered 20 AP courses last year. We really do punch above our weight as a school in that offerings. And we try to push our students to challenge themselves. Tenacity is one of our core values. And, we want students to work hard in these subjects and to persevere. But as the principal, I have oversight. I work on the structure for next year. And I'll be talking about which AP courses you can offer where and when today. And then Mr. Wessel is, I'll let him introduce himself. He's also the AP coordinator. Mr. Wessel.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Gregory. As he said, I'm the AP coordinator. And so I take care of a lot of the things on the back end, and I can help to guide students as far as what they think they should take and what we think they should take and what's going to look best for them based on what goals they have. And like I said, taking care of sort of the administrative side of getting things signed up and collecting fees and all of that, which is much less important than the actual business of getting in the classroom and getting and learning and getting this content. But the three of us here, Mr. Gregory, Mr. Cox, and myself, can definitely give you today a lot of information and I think answer a lot of questions and hopefully generate a lot of good questions too. So Mr. Cox, do you want to introduce yourself, and then we can go ahead and move on with the slideshow and get to business?
Yep. So I'm Mr. Cox. I've been teaching social studies here at GAAQ since 2015. This is my 7th year, and I've been teaching AP now. It's my 3rd year teaching an AP course. So that's the teaching side of things. I also am dean of academics as well, and that's also why we wanted to push to have this sort of informational session, because of just the nature of AP courses. There are fantastic opportunities for the students to grow and also to kind of showcase their talents when it comes to applying into university later on. But with that does come a lot of responsibility, which we'll get into a little bit later. So yeah, that's it for me for now. We'll pass on, go into the slides, I suppose.
So Mr. Wessel.
Yeah, sure. When coming into the American system and looking at AP classes, why you should take the classes is a question that everybody asks. And you can see some of the bullet points here. It is in the American system what you're looking for when it comes to rigor and challenge. So when at college, university admissions officers are looking at the transcripts and they're seeing AP classes in those, then they're seeing students that are at the high school level and able to perform at that college level. On top of that, there are financial benefits for parents who are paying for their students to go to college, because it varies from college to college about what they'll accept, but many colleges will accept actual for passing results on an AP course exam. They will consider that college credit, and so a student can say skip some of those classes that everyone else is going to have to take in their freshman year at university, and so that's extremely valuable. And then probably even more so, the AP classes, because they're challenging and because they help to build the skills that are needed in college, it prepares students for the challenges that they have coming up. So if a student is able to be exposed to this kind of challenge, this kind of rigor, and succeed, then it doesn't just look good to the schools that are considering their application. It has like real world applicable help to the student when they get to college. So they're not sort of blindsided by a whole another level of challenge, and that they can hit the ground running and succeed. Because a lot of students, if they're not used to it, and they get to college and all of a sudden they're told they're sort of left to their own devices and they have to figure this stuff out on their own and try to, get the job done. They struggle in that first semester, but students who have the experience in AP courses are doing much better when they get in that first semester of university.
Yeah, thank you. So AP expectations is one. I'm not going to speak about this. I've taught AP calculus. It's one of the top end, sort of more difficult courses on the AP program. But Mr. Cox has been teaching AP European history for 3 years, and I think he can really speak to the rigor and the expectations that are expected from our students. Mr. Cox?
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Wessel was saying there in terms of, a lot of times when it comes to AP, a lot of times the students focus on, can I get the passing score? Can I get the credit? But the process in the middle, all the skills and habits that you learn when you fully engage with an AP course, I would say has the most value. It's a chance to kind of get dip your toes into the water of what a college course is like. And I've had the great pleasure to run into a few of my former students over the last month, some from the first year I taught it and some who graduated last year. And one of the things that, when I asked them, do you find that the course, did it help you at all in terms of your first year at school? And they said, absolutely, like that the course, the AP European history course they took with me was the closest thing they had to what they're taking at school. There's, for the AP history courses in general, there's a lot of reading involved. And I think that really stands or holds true for a lot of other AP courses as well. I think AP Calculus might be a tad different, but Mr. Gregory can speak to the math side of things. And I think that's one of the great benefits of being in there. A lot of times students will hear it's rigorous, it's hard, and I think that maybe scares some students off. But if they can learn to kind of embrace that challenge, it really gives them a leg up when they get to school, because it is such a big jump from going from a high school environment to a college environment. And those expectations and habits are really great to start developing now. In terms of what you can expect, as I mentioned, reading is quite important for these courses. For any parents in here who've been through college, as well as I do, regardless of whether you're studying business, science, music, history, a lot of the learning in college happens through reading. And that definitely holds true for AP courses as well. And that's an important expectation to understand when it comes to the rigor. If the student is not fully committed to owning that responsibility and following through on those obligations, it becomes very hard to have success in the AP course. Again, for my class, I could sit there and choose a handful of topics to cover in depth throughout the year, but I don't make that exam at the end of the year. The content could come from anywhere. I might spend a week on a topic that doesn't show up on the exam. So I really prefer to focus on the skills in class, preferably the writing skills. And that means the students have to have engaged a lot of the content through reading. And if they don't do that, it's very hard for them to have success with the skill side of things. So that's a big part of it. And in terms of how much time you can expect for an AP course, 45 minutes to an hour a night is probably ballpark where what you could be expecting. It depends how fast a student reads or how slow. I admit, and I'm proud to admit, I'm a bit of a slow reader. If I'm reading and I find my mind's wandering into a hockey match I'm thinking about, like I have to go back and reread things. So the readings might take me a bit longer, where some students might read it faster than I do. But so it can vary a bit. But if you're a student in here planning to take AP, or you're a parent with a student who's going to be taking AP, it's probably a good idea to maybe have a set time and a set place in the house where the kids read. Maybe parents get in on it too, and also read and talk about it afterwards, just to make sure that is happening. Because if a student goes off to their room and says they're reading, it doesn't always mean that that's what's happening. So it's important that you've got a good focused environment to do that sort of thing. I don't want to talk too long on that, but it's kind of I would say the main gist, and I think that holds for science classes, science, psychology, all that sort of stuff. It's probably a similar boat. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you've done quite well there, Mr. Cox. The only other point that I'd probably add is just, like, again, which you've touched on, is the independence and the responsibility. A lot of this is just on the student, the responsibility to do that. As parents, I know you want to do what's best for your child, but in high school, they should be learning those skills at this stage, and like they should be the one advocating for a reading space, like you suggested, and making sure that they're doing it. But yeah, that's very good. We'll move on to the next slide, Mr. Wessel.
Yep, absolutely. So, like we want as many students as possible. We want students taking AP courses, but not every AP course is right for every student. And so one of the things that we make sure that we do is that we ask for teachers to make recommendations for their students going into, and this connects with last night's live stream where we talked about the course requests. And so we do ask, so we have our teachers put in their recommendations for students to go into an AP class, or for a number of classes, actually, not even just AP. And then those teachers are using a lot of different criteria, and you can see them on the board here. We look at PSAT scores, the MAP data, their general academic performance. And the next bullet point there is probably even one of the biggest ones, and the general attitude toward learning. A student who maybe is typically like getting a lot of, in that B level, but really works hard and puts in the extra effort, they're likely to sort of have a leg up on a student who just sort of coasts by and still manages to get that A, because when the rubber meets the road and you're in the class, it's the student who really puts in the effort and applies themselves who comes out successful on the other end. So that's something that we really consider carefully. And then, like I alluded to a little bit earlier, talking about the career pathway. So making sure that, there was one question last night. Someone asked, if I want to go into the medical field, what APs do I need to take? So this is the kind of thing. If a student has a pathway that they're very clear about and they really want to go down, then we're going to help them to make sure that they have the coursework in place that's going to give them the best chance when they leave. That said, we honestly do want the best for every student. And sometimes that will mean that, we don't recommend that a student take a particular course because maybe they're not quite ready for that. And that's not something that happens extremely frequently, but it is something that we feel like we need to be truthful, and we want to set students up for success. And so we're careful about putting them into courses because we do have graduation requirements. So we want to make sure that students graduate from here and move on and go to the best possible place that they can, that they can. And then like passion in a specific subject. We've got, in the science fields, for example, we've got AP physics, AP biology, AP chemistry, and maybe there might be some students who really are just all in when it comes to science. And that's something that we're absolutely we're going to talk to the teachers, and you know, an AP chemistry teacher may not be able to give speak specifically to whether or not a student is going to succeed in AP biology, but we're going to get that feedback from them and find out if they feel like they have the drive or the passion for those subjects, and that they think they can be successful. So again, we do require these teacher recommendations, but you know, our recommendations may not always be in line with what every student thinks they want or need. But in the end, these are recommendations, and Mr. Gregory and I, with consultation with other people, can make the final decision about whether or not a student gets into that class. Now, like we mentioned last night, once they're in, they're in. And so, you know, we're not making schedule changes. And so it is a serious decision, and students need to be committed and ready to go all the way once they've gotten into one of these classes. Anything to add there, Mr. Gregory?
No, just a personal one for me was, you know, many of you guys know that I was a mathematics teacher, and you know, pretty good at mathematics if I'm a mathematics teacher. But I remember being in my junior year and my mathematics teacher telling my parents that I was incompetent and not able to take the advanced level mathematics course. So I didn't really react well to that at the time, and I decided to pursue the honours course in sort of spite of him, because I did enjoy mathematics at the time, and I did really well, and I went on and got my honours and got into university and did my degree in mathematics. So that thing about, you know, teacher recommendation is definitely important, but I also have a bit of a soft spot for students who, you know, are showing that they're hardworking, that they're really willing to put in the work, and, you know, willing to make exceptions here and there. Sometimes they come back and disappoint me, but it's a learning experience no matter what, even if you do fail at the subject. But we hopefully, as Mr. Wessels alluded to, is we honestly just have your best interest at heart when we're picking these courses, and we just want you to be successful. If we feel like you're not going to be successful, we will give you our recommendation on that. It's up to you to listen to it. So yeah, the most important part of the night now is sort of what do we offer next year. So I'm going to talk about that. I wish we had a bit of a drum roll to announce it. So here, the next slide is going to be the AP course offerings for next year. We are going to offer 17 AP courses next year. If you can see, AP English is in green, which means we've added that for next year again. We didn't offer it this year. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough interest at the time. We're really excited to have that in the program for next year. We have most of the courses that we've had offered this year, not a lot of changes. We have removed AP French due to, you know, there just wasn't enough interest this year when we offered it. So we have removed that from the program. AP Music Theory, again, there also wasn't a lot of interest in that program this year, so we've removed that. And AP Computer Science A, we are removing from the program for next year, but we were hoping to reintroduce it in the following year. It's just that we have a new computer science teacher joining us, who's just getting to know the AP program. So he's going to be teaching AP Computer Science principles for the first year. And we just want him to get comfortable with that program before we add 2 AP courses to his load. Because not only is it difficult just for students, it's hard on the teachers as well. It is advanced content, it's university level. So we do that for that type of reason. The next one is basically going to be a slide showing grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. It is here. When can I take my APs? And this is the thing. Part of the reason we're peeling back the AP program in certain ways, you know, reducing some of those courses, is so that we can offer more APs in 10th grade, which we haven't been able to do historically. And if you can see on this slide here, we're nearly offering 9 AP courses in the grade 10. I think it's 9 exactly. Yeah, 9 exactly in grade 10, which is going to be a great benefit for those students going into grade 10 next year, or current grade 9s. AP Human, AP Computer Science, AP Spanish, AP Spanish Lit are offered in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. AP English, AP Drawing, AP 2D Art, AP 3D Art, they're offered in grade 10. And AP Seminar is something that we're going to talk about in specifics now in the next 2 slides. But that is a very good offering. Offered in grade 10. It's very important because students can actually probably get their AP seminar and their AP research now done in grade 10 and 11, so that in grade 12 they can focus just on some AP courses, which we haven't been able to do previously. So Mr. Wessel, I'll leave that there for a second. Very, very interesting course offerings. I'm going to show the next slide, which is the AP Capstone Diploma, if you want to speak about that, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the AP Capstone Diploma is, like it says there, this is something that on your college applications, and it will absolutely stand out. It's you can see the requirements for it there. Over the course of your high school career, you just need to pass 4 AP exams. You could see from that previous slide that our students now have all kinds of opportunity to take many AP courses starting from grade 9 and then just increasing all the way through. In addition to those 4 AP exams being passed, they'll need to take these 2 courses, AP Seminar and AP Research, with Seminar being the prerequisite for research. These 2 courses, which are rigorous on their own, but the thing about these courses that makes them special, aside from the fact that they're part of this Capstone Diploma, these classes really prepare students with the skills of doing research and independent study, and becoming, again, very, very self-confident, independent thinkers, problem solvers, and the presentation skills required for the research course in particular are very high. And so the Capstone Diploma is something that we'll start having more and more students who are going to be eligible for this in the coming years as we've been offering these courses, and we're excited for it. So especially, like Mr. Gregory mentioned just a moment ago, having a seminar now available to grade 10 students, it really gives an opportunity to get these things done even before you get to grade 12 potentially. So this is something that, have we had in the past? I know that we had someone get the Capstone Diploma yet.
No, I'm hopeful of a few students this year to get the AP Capstone Diploma. And just to jump on what you're saying, the AP Seminar we are even going to offer in grade 12 for next year as well, just in case students want to just do that AP Seminar course. It still counts as an AP. Doesn't mean you won't get the Capstone Diploma or the certificate, but you will be able to do the AP Seminar course, and it's very beneficial no matter what. So offering it in 3 grade levels. I would say this year I was a little disappointed that some of our grade 11s didn't take AP Seminar. AP Biology was very popular this year, but you can take AP Biology next year. Can't do the AP Seminar and AP Research now because of that constraint. You can only do one of them. So taking it in grade 11 is really important because it gives you that option to take AP Research in the following year if you're really interested in it.
Yeah, and that really touches on an important point about planning out. If you want for your student, if you're a parent watching this live stream, or if you as a student really want to get that AP Capstone Diploma, then you need to plan ahead and plan carefully, so make sure that you can do it, and take courses and sign up for courses purposefully with a plan. And that's where me, Mr. Cox, Mr. Gregory, Ms. Thomas, the academic counselor, can help guide you in that right direction.
Yeah, perfect. The next slide is then just what the AP scores look like. And I think this might answer a few of the questions in the chat already, but it's there, the final score. So AP exams are scored on this structure, a 1 through 5 scale. And some universities will ask for a minimum of 3. Some of the higher universities will ask for a minimum of 4 to get the credit in the course. It just depends on the university or college that you're asking for. So it's a very complicated question sometimes, asking about what's a pass in AP. We consider really, a good success is usually a 3 and above for us. Ballpark, but certain students who get a 2 can be very proud of what they've achieved as well, depending. But usually a 1 is no recommendation. We would consider that maybe a fail. To try explain that, you will sign up for an AP course that is linked with College Board. You will do an AP exam that is sent by College Board. It is an external exam. You take that, you get that score. It is in your College Board account, so that colleges and universities can see that. When you're in school, you will do the exams, continuous assessments, assignments, whatnot, that the teacher does in school, and that teacher will grade you accordingly. And whatever grade is in our report card is what we report on our transcript. But the score that you get on the actual exam is external from us. So, for example, in Mr. Cox teaching AP European history, he will try to make sure that students are getting an accurate reflection of where they're at. So he will try to give them, like, if he thinks they're at a B level, he's predicting that they're going to get a 4 in their AP exam. But that, occasionally changes. We're not perfect. And, students can do bad on an exam, or they can do really well on an exam. You can get lucky. Those type of things impact an exam. For the most part, we try to have our internal exams reflect where the student would be and what they should get on the exam. So complicated, but in or around where we think. So students getting an A in school, that would be a 5 for us. Students getting a B in school, we think they're going to get a 4. Students getting a C, we think they're going to get a 3. Students getting a D in an AP course in school, we think they're going to get a 2. And then students who are getting a 1, we think, are probably going to be in or around that fail mark, unfortunately. All right. Mr. Cox, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe with the scores they get on those AP exams, I don't believe those are automatically sent to schools. That you can choose if you want to submit those or not. In other words, if you didn't pass the AP course, the AP exam, you probably wouldn't send that on. The point of sending that score on is that it would replace a course that you would otherwise take at university. I took AP European history as well when I transferred to my university and was looking to get that added. It was actually kind of like, I did it just in time, but I went back and said, does this AP European history score, will that get me any credits here? And they said, oh yeah, that's a Western Civilization 2 course. So it knocked off one of the history courses that I needed to take, which was awesome because I changed from physics to history. So that was like a nice little time saver and money saver. So, but I don't think they're automatically sent. Mr. Wessel, could you, do you know about that? I don't think they're automatically sent. I think you send them on if you want to.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing that you have through the College Board is going to be automatically sent. Those things like your SAT scores and whatnot, students are going to choose how, when they're making the application to those schools and when those scores are getting sent. Now, something else that I wanted to, it's sort of related to this, but I learned recently because and I think this is going to be really important for a lot of our families. I had a parent who was a prospective parent and asking questions about his daughter, they're a Lebanese American family, and they were looking at possibilities of going to university in Lebanon and whether or not taking any AP courses is going to make sense as far as getting credit in those universities in Lebanon. And the answer, well, I had to do some research, and it actually was pretty easy to find. But on the College Board website, you can download a spreadsheet, and it's got all of the international universities that recognize advanced placement courses and whether or not they accept any of those for credit toward there. So there were 2 universities in Lebanon that this particular parent was looking at. One of them did accept it and the other one didn't. So that's something that, because we automatically assume that this is just American universities, but there are a lot of, it was not just this country. There are a lot of international universities that will recognize AP courses for credit at their institution.
Yeah, a lot of universities in Europe I've seen have actually been looking for AP courses. The other thing that I'd add onto this sort of conversation will be just that, we've had students here who've just done a regular diploma. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. You can do a regular diploma without any AP courses. You can get a 4.0 GPA doing a regular course, which is what one of our valedictorians did a few years ago. That's great. You're going to get into a good university with that. But a student with a 4.0 GPA with no APs to a student who's getting a 3.6, 3.7 GPA and is taking multiple APs, universities, colleges, if they're looking at that, they're going to be picking the student who took the AP courses because they've applied themselves and they've challenged themselves. Depending on the rigor, those are the things that now colleges and universities are looking for as well, along with extracurricular activities and how you've helped the school and sort of those things. That's what the top universities are looking for now. Ideally, you want to be a 4.0 student who's taken multiple AP courses, has the AP Capstone Diploma, has plenty of extracurricular activities. That's what the ideal student is. And we have a few of those. But, not everybody is built in that way. So it's just build your strengths. The last slide here before we go into the questions and answers, and I think we're doing good time, is just Mr. Wessel about the prices.
Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. These prices are not for the school. These are literally, like it says there, this is just for the exam. So the external exams have a fee associated with them. The regular classes are $475, and then the AP seminar is $550. Those, once you've signed up and everything is all settled and your student is in the course, these fees are payable right at our cashier. They keep track of everything for me. And I put the order together early on in the year and just keep track of who's paid their fees. And then, that's it. It is worth noting that, that once you've paid for those fees, they're not going to be refundable. All right. So, and then any student who decides to take an AP class, now it is possible to take an AP class and opts not to take the exam. That's not a problem. And if that's the case, then if you know that from the beginning, we don't advise that. We want you to challenge yourself and take the exam. But if you're adamant and you don't do it, then you don't have to pay for the exam fee, obviously. But at the end of the year, you will have to take an exam in the school for that course, just like you would any of your non-AP courses.
Yeah, and because we've already ordered the exam paper, that's why we can't give a refund at that stage. So it's just because you've taken an AP on your transcript here, it would say you've taken like AP calculus, and that's why we offer that 20% mock, just because we need to keep it in line with having that on our transcript. Okay, guys, I think that's us for the moment. There's Mr. Wessel and my email address. Justin, I think if you're ready now, we can take some questions.
Yes. So at this time, for the parents and students that are here watching today, really appreciate you coming. But we would still need, if you have any questions, don't be shy. This is your chance now to use a YouTube chat to actually put your questions in the chat, and then we'll post them on the screen and we'll answer them for you. Okay. This is probably the easiest way to do it. For just basic regular questions if you had those questions. So again, I strongly encourage you at this point in time to put your questions or your feedback in the chat now if you want us to address your questions at this moment. If not, no problem. You do have the email addresses here from Mr. Wessel and Mr. Gregory, but this is the chance now. So we only have about 3 questions. So the first one was, when will it start? Well, it started about 34 minutes ago. So hope you're still here with us. So Miss Gina, I think, said, can you please give a brief about the next week's AP exams for grade 12?
Yeah, so the AP exams happen for the next 2 weeks. So next week and the following week. I don't remember when every single one is right off the top of my head, because they're on at different times and different days on Monday through Friday. because these are international exams. So it's not set to our Middle Eastern Sunday to Thursday week. Yeah, so next week, Monday to Friday, and then the following week, they happen at either 8 a.m. or 12 p.m. noon. They'll be at the campus. Students are able to come in. It's going to be quiet. I'll be there, and there'll be a proctor there to take care of the exams. And each of them has a set amount of time. I think there's only one time in the entire schedule where we have 2 exams happening at the same time, and that is AP Spanish Language and Literature and AP Chemistry. I don't think we have any students who are currently taking both of those courses, so that's not any kind of conflict there. They take the exams, I collect the materials, keep them safe, and then mail them off back to College Board in the United States. For grade 12 or grade 11, grade 10, whoever's taking an AP, that's the program. And then the following week, we'll be in school, so it's a little bit different. It won't be as quiet, but we'll have a quiet room set aside, and it's the same process.
Yeah, and it'll be my messaging tomorrow, Justin, but the AP students don't have to wear their school uniform. They can come in. If that helps them to de-stress, we want to do whatever we can to make sure that they do well on that exam, so they can wear whatever, school appropriate, please, respect the culture and whatnot, appropriate clothes, come in, dress down. And on the week that we have classes, that Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, if they do have an AP exam, they don't have to come to school to go to classes that day. They can just come in and focus on their AP exam. That takes priority over these 2 weeks.
So, Mr. Wessel, you're saying that the kids have to come into school during Eid holiday?
They do. Yeah, these dates are set. They're always in May. College Board doesn't change them, and so that's what we got. I know it's tricky. The IB students are doing the same. Their IB examinations are starting this weekend, I believe, and going into next week. So it's the same kind of thing. They have their clock, and we're just bound to stick to it.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to clarify. By the way, everyone, if you didn't read the news today or check your Instagram or social media, our Eid holiday is until from May 1st to May 9th. And we resume classes on Tuesday, I think, May 10th. I think it's Tuesday. All right. So just wanted to let you all know that great bit of information. All right. So thank you, Sajina, for your question. We're going to move forward to Zainab. Zainab said, if a student fails an AP exam, will he or she get the credit? What is the passing grade of an AP exam?
So I can get that one. If they fail the AP exam, that's in College Board. Like Mr. Cox said earlier, it doesn't really count if they don't want to share it with the school or university. And what is important is they pass the course in school. That is a credit. So if they fail it in school, that does count towards their graduation and their transcript in school. But the external exam, there's no pressure on that. That doesn't impact. A student can do really well all year, get an A in class in their AP European class, and then go and do the test and have a horrible day and fail it. And it's not going to impact their GPA or transcript from our school. But it just, they don't obviously get that, to show that off to colleges and universities through their College Board account.
Yeah. Right. Something I wanted to add on to about the schedule next week and the fall and the one after that. It's public knowledge for the entire world. So if you just Google AP exam schedule, I'm sure your kids know exactly when their exams are. They've known for quite a while, but it's all there for you to take a look at.
Yeah, and the passing grade as well, Justin, because that's a 2-part question. I forgot to ask the second part, but passing grade in the AP exam itself just depends on what the colleges and universities are looking for. I know a student last year was trying to get into a Dutch university. I think it was in Eindhoven. They were looking for a 4 in their AP exams. That's very, they're very difficult. That's very rigorous. While some other universities and stuff will just look for a minimum of a 2. 2 is a pass to them. So it just changes on the university and college. They have to look into that.
So Zainab, I hope that answers your question. All right, thank you for your question. We're going to move on to a student here, Asma. Do AP seminar and AP research count as part of the 4 AP exams for the Capstone Diploma?
Nope.
Mr. Wessel, no, it's correct, right? It's not.
No, it's
It's a
not.
good question
No.
because I always think about this with
Great
myself.
question.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
research, it's seminar and research plus
Research
4
plus
passing.
4.
Yeah, so it's a total of 6 APs.
That's what makes it extraordinary.
Yeah.
I've taken 5 APs in high school many moons ago, and I would say any more than 2 in a year is craziness. I did that once, and I was just a full-time student. I didn't do anything else, but a student. I don't even know how to play basketball or any other sports, but it was crazy doing 3. 2 was, that's something that's regular, right? Regular, but 3 or more. Oh, that you have to be a special person to do that.
And that's why we've listened to the feedback. And that's why, we listen to the parents, we've listened to the students. That's why we're offering more of these AP courses in grade 10 to try spread out that AP and that stress and rigor. Students who take AP seminar in grade 10, they don't have to take AP research in grade 11. They can just focus on AP courses, and then they can do their AP research in grade 12. And, they can get those AP. Start planning, as Mr. Wessel sort of said earlier. Sit down and sort of plan out your 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year if you're really serious about these AP classes, and spread it out.
That's so important. The way that we have it structured is really well because when I was taking it, it was only junior and senior year I was focusing on it. I didn't plan. And so I suffered a little bit, my junior and senior year. But if you do it, in a sequential manner and you have a plan for what you want to do, great. But, we know you're, 14, 15, 16. It's hard to have a plan sometimes, but just think about what you want to do, what courses interest you, and just take it from there, so.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Asma. Let's go to Mohammed. If you decide to pay for no exams, will you have to pay for the school exams? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
School exams are free.
Yeah. I read that wrong.
I'd love to start charging because we make some money, but
no, it doesn't cost anything. All right. So thank you for that, Mohammed. For Saad, what is the max number of AP courses I need to take in order to obtain a study hall? This is funny.
I knew this is coming.
Similar to yesterday's question he had. Similar.
Yeah, it's subjective. I for this year I said 3. For next year, I think I'm going to say 2. Just because I agree, Mr. Tyler. I think 2 AP courses is even a lot, and 3 is just spectacular. So I'm probably going to ease it up to about 2 courses. If you take 2 APs, I'm willing to give you a library class.
And
I reckon that's also contingent on graduation credit requirements as well. If you need to make up some credits, then that's what you'll probably put in there instead, I reckon. So.
And I'd say that considering the attitude to learning, remember we talked about that being a factor about whether or not you're going to get into an AP course. Well, I'd say the same for study hall. If we think that you've got a good attitude to learning and you want to use a study hall because you want to make sure that you succeed in your AP courses and all your other work, then we're going to be happy to give that to you. If it's because you want to have a coffee break, that's not as likely.
I'll be approving the grade 11s and grade 12s course requests personally. So, Sad, I'm the one you want to be talking to. So,
hey, Sad, you have your assignment now. You know what to do. All right. So thank you, Sad, for that question. Asma, again, with the double question. What's the difference between the normal diploma and the capstone diploma? I love this question. Go ahead. I like this.
Yeah,
I'm not going to answer it. I like it.
Mr. Wilson, it's called the AP Capstone Diploma. That's if you get the 3 and above and all of them and you meet all the requirements. And the other one is called Capstone, it's called the certificate.
Yeah, there's a certificate, and that is just for taking the seminar and research, as far as if I remember correctly. So if you successfully take seminar and research, then you get a certificate, right? But a Capstone Diploma is the successful completion of those 2, seminar research, plus 4 APs. And for this, that pass is considered a 3. It varies from university to university what they're going to consider for credit. But for this, College Board considers a 3 a pass on that. And then the normal diploma, you can take just our regular classes are rigorous too. You're not going to take pre-calculus and it's just going to be a walk in the park. Classes are going to be challenging at GAAQ, but you don't have to take any APs to get a normal diploma. You just have to meet all of our graduation requirements with passing grades.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially two institutions there that are saying you're highly qualified to go on to a university. If you're a university and an accredited school such as us says you're good to go for a university, that's awesome. But now if you've got this international independent organization also saying, yep, they're definitely like qualified, universities should be taking somebody like this, it's like it's almost like getting like two diplomas in a way, not literally, but yeah, that's how I think of it.
It's sort of an elite club, right? If you're getting that capstone diploma, then it's you've purposely gone the extra mile, and you've done well in doing it.
Yeah, for those students, for example, as well, who are interested in getting the valedictorian or salutatorian, salutatorian is more of the Renaissance, the complete student. We look at a lot of other things, but that valedictorian, they would be usually our, we're hoping would be usually our AP Capstone Diploma students. They're the ones who, have exceeded exceptional grades in a lot of courses and a lot of APs.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hope that answers your question, Asma. So next we have Usman. How long does it take to get your AP scores?
I think
July, right?
We'll have to double check this one. I think it's in July.
July as well.
You get it through the College Board account, and it comes up in July. They obviously go to Chicago. I think it's the test center. They mark them in Chicago. They have a lot of teachers come there. They work on moderation and making sure that they're graded at a very rigorous level. And then those teachers grade them over a 2 to 3 week period, and then they release the scores.
All right. So we have Sajina here. She says, thanks for answering her original question. And then any ID required for the exam, like a hall ticket. Okay.
Just show up.
You should have your ID, right? Though they have to identify you.
Make sure that they're in the AP course this year. Not just rock up and take an AP course that you haven't taken.
Right.
But if they're in a course right now, they can show up.
Yeah.
There's only one exception to that I will require an ID for, and that's we have one student who's been independently studying over at Wellington, and I haven't met the young man, so I want to make sure when he comes that that he is who he claims he is, and he's got the ID to prove it.
So, Mr. Wessel, you're saying that if we don't have the AP class, that someone can independently study for the AP course and still take the exam without having the class here?
They can, yeah. So we've got a handful of kids, like Mr. Gregory said, we didn't quite have the interest in AP English for this year, but we've got a handful of students who are passionate about it, and they've got universities saying to them that we need to see this, to make sure you're getting in and getting into the classes that you want. We want to see this AP English, and it's a small number, but they've been studying independently, and they're gonna come next week or the following, and they're gonna take that exam. Yep. And then we don't usually allow students outside of GAAQ to come and sit the exam at our campus, but because Wellington is our sister school next door with GEMS, we obviously made an exception to that. It's not really outside, is it? I mean, we're
same campus.
we work well together sometimes, right? So we allow them to come on. So all right.
I mean,
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna make a joke at their expense, so I'm gonna stop there.
Oh, I thought Mike was gonna go.
Something about football, I think.
Okay. We'll keep it in the back chat. All right. Thank you, Sanjina, for that question. Next, we have Fabian. I love that name, Fabian. I like that name. It's really good. Are there any conditions academically for a student in grade 9 to take AP courses, but is the best grade to take AP courses actually?
Maturity-wise, and everybody can jump in on this in some way. Maturity-wise, we sort of recommend juniors. Grade 11 is when we, most students I would recommend to take 1 or 2, AP courses in grade 11. We do offer them in grade 10, grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. Some of the courses that we offer, we obviously don't offer like AP Calculus in grade 9 because there's a lot of skills missing there, and like we are vertically and horizontally aligned in our curriculum. So our maths courses, for example, are building towards the AP calculus, but students need to be in the advanced maths class since grade 8 to sort of get there. You know, we have exceptions for that. You know, some students really excel in their grade 10 year in maths and double up. There's a few things like that. But conditions for taking it in grade 9, the student would probably have to be very independent at that age, you know, is responsible, is willing to do the work, has good grades, good MAP scores, and has a teacher recommendation from one of their teachers in grade 8. Honestly, it's that type of thing. If he can show evidence that he's, you know, an excellent academic student, that's the type of student that we probably recommend to take grade 9 AP courses. The only other exception to this, honestly, is the Spanish program. If you're fluent, if you're a first language speaker and you're in the American curriculum and you're fluent in Spanish, you come from Spain and you can, you know, write, read in Spanish, you should be taking the AP Spanish language and literature in grade 9 and grade 10 to try to get those ready so that in grade 11 and 12, you can take other AP courses and just take, you know, regular Spanish classes in those later years. Or if you don't want to, you're waiting to mature and you're not responsible enough, you just take Spanish regularly in 9th and 10th, and then you would take AP Spanish in 11th and 12th, either language or literature. But we usually have a lot of grade 9 students who are fluent in Spanish taking it in grade 9.
If I could jump in there, one more thing I'd say on the academic side of things. You know, if you're a grade 8 student going into grade 9 and you know you're knocking straight A's all the time very easily, I think this kind of ties into the maturity bit with the academics. You need to be prepared and willing to grow as well. You're probably going to take a few knocks as well, knowing, like, you know, for instance, AP Human Geography. It's a course we offer in 9th grade. It doesn't mean it's easier than the other AP courses by any means. It is quite a challenge. So there needs to be a bit of, kind of to what Mr. Gregory said, that maturity there, being able and willing to kind of take criticism, feedback, and do something with that. That's why it is tougher for 9th graders usually. It's a maturity thing, but hopefully we'll have plenty of 9th graders that do have that you know, disposition. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah. I think the last thing I would say on this is, you know, normally these AP classes are subject specific, right? So if you know you want to be a computer scientist, right, you could take the AP computer science. But if you're grade 9, you may not know. That's the beauty of the American curriculum. There's a bevy of courses you can take. You don't need to know everything that you're doing at grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. You could take it based on interest, and your track record, like Mr. Cox said, is important. If you're knocking them out the park academically, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, you have a great track record, right? A great attitude for learning. You have some great tangibles there to maybe take an AP in grade 9. So don't think that you have to know what you want to do because it's subject specific. Just have fun. If you like it, take it. You know, as you get to 11th and 12th grade, you might kind of figure out what you want to do and take more subject specific things in those grades. So something to think about as well.
And to your point, Mr. Tyler, even let's say you don't like history, most universities you go to, you're going to have to take a little bit of everything. And so if when you get to university, you don't want to be spending your time taking a history course when it's a requirement. That's a nice way to just get it, right, knock it out and get out of the way. You get the high school credit for it, take the exam, knock that out. You don't have to now take that course at uni. So that's another side there that doesn't get talked about too much. You know, you might be into science and want to do all the science ones, but you can also get, you know, an English type course out of the way, a social studies type course out of the way for your uni. It's very common to have your gen eds, your sampling of a little bit of everything in the first year or so.
And also, last thing I would say, keep in mind that English and history shows your writing skills as well. It develops your writing skills. So that's also something to think about that can well round what you take for the other APs. So something to think about as well. All right. I'm going to go to Fabian again because he has another question as well. Fabian says, is AP Capstone recognized well in UK, Scotland, or only in USA, Canada? This is a great question as well.
Worldwide. It really is worldwide. I think we have students who've been accepted in colleges, universities across the world who've used the AP program, from, you know, Holland to Indonesia to Canada to Brazil. to Ireland, my own country. Universities and colleges, they're going to look at all of this, no matter what the program is. American curriculum, British curriculum, IB, AP, these are all very well recognized programs, and all of the top universities, colleges, and even, not even the top, like I would say most universities, colleges worldwide will accept AP.
All right. So next question is from Rian. What are the benefits of the Capstone Diploma?
I was thinking about a way, because this seems to be coming up a little bit. So Ryan, if you were going to hire, let's say me or Mr. Cox, and let's say Mr. Cox had a master's and I had a doctorate, and that was the only two pieces of information that you knew about us before you chose, you would obviously choose the person who has the doctorate to do the job in that field. Obviously, doctorate in education, master's in education, you would pick me. So that's the exact same as the Capstone Diploma. Are you going to pick the person with the Capstone Diploma, or are you going to pick the person with the diploma? And you're obviously going to go for the person with the Capstone Diploma. It's like a badge of honor. It really is prestigious. There's not a lot of students that are going to be getting the Capstone Diploma. Honestly, this year I'm predicting between 2 to 3 students in our 75 kids graduating that will have the Capstone Diploma. So it is very, very unique, and it's sort of a highlight on your CV for colleges and universities.
Yeah,
like you're talking about thousands of applicants for these schools. It's a lot of names and it's just a lot of numbers, and you'd like the process to be more human. But when you're talking about tens of thousands of applications for some of these universities, they're looking to sort things out quickly with something like that. So it's just going to make it's something that really makes you stand out and makes them give you a good hard look. So it's all Mr. Gregory's been saying.
Yeah, and I'd say too, if you're a person who likes to challenge yourself and you want to achieve great things, you want to give yourself sort of a goal to shoot for, then the Capstone Diploma is a good one.
Yeah, definitely. It's the highest one, like this.
Well, it's the highest we can.
Yeah, highest we can do. Yeah, that's true. I think all of this goes down to it's kind of like a first experience of a job, like interview, and kind of going through who is the best person. Like, so Mr. Greg, what you mentioned is true, because people who hire you or people who are looking through applications, they have debates about which ones to accept. It could be maybe 5. In that group of 5, they have to accept 2. Right? So who are the best 2? They don't know you, so going by what your portfolio presents you, right? So something to think about. Good questions, though. Mohammed is next. Let's say you take 2 of the same classes 2 years in a row. Will it count as 2 AP exams for Capstone? I like this.
We won't let you do that. Can't take AP biology and then take AP biology again. We won't let you take the same course twice, no matter if you took it in grade 9 and you take it in grade 12. We won't let that line up, because you're messing with your credit and what that looks like on your transcript. So,
nice try, Mohammed. Nice try. All right. So we have a question from some guy. Is valedictorian based on APs as well?
Mr. Cox, do you want to answer that one? Because I know you were very much involved this year in Valence.
Yeah, so I won't say too much here, but as our program has improved and gotten better, our pool, when we consider who's going to get valedictorian and salutatorian, you're looking at multiple names there, and the number of AP courses is something that's considered. If you got 2 students who are at a 4.0, 2 students who've contributed to the social fabric of the school in different ways, and have, if you're really looking at like a razor here, that's the AP courses, the number of AP courses taken is considered. So to answer your question in the simplest form, yes, valedictorian is based on APs as well. Has it always factored in? No, but it has also factored in at times too. So yes, it does. Simplest answer there. If you were looking to get the valedictorian and lock that up, if you're able to, especially if you're able to get A's with those AP classes, that's a way to get yourself in that conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so next question is from Ganima. I think I said that right. How long do AP exams usually take?
I think that it varies from course to course, but they're actually timed. So you have a specific amount of time, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have experience with every exam, but I think the shortest is probably 2 hours. A lot of them fall in that 3 hour range. Some of them are up to 4 hours, I believe.
The longest one, I know mine's a little bit on the longer end because of the writing component, and it's including breaks, it's around 3.5 hours. And there's one break in there. So they're long, but you're doing that once, and then once you're done that, and the course and the test are done, it's nice. The rest of the year is quite nice. So it may sound a bit like rough, but you also get a little bit of a nicer time afterwards at the end. So
yeah, that's true. All right. And then the last question we have here is from Mohammed. Says, when will you get your SAT and PSAT score?
Again, they're external exams. We do the PSAT on campus, but that's an external exam. We don't grade them ourselves. We're not in charge of that. We obviously do PSATs from grade 8 through grade 11. We don't do the SAT exams on campus. They're done in external exam centers. But if you've done the SAT or the PSAT, you can find your score on the College Board account. Mr. Wessel, that's correct, right?
Yeah, that's right. Unless you're one of these people who hasn't taken any AP classes, and so you don't have a College Board account, and you opted not to give them your email address and set that up, then then I can access that for you. We can access those for you. If you're in grade 8 and 9, for example, you were the most recent PSAT that we did. And I've recently gotten all the score. I've got score reports for everybody. I've had some students who have proactively reached out to me and said, "Hey, can I get that report?" And I've happily created those documents for them. And I'm going to get the rest of those out to everybody who took the PSAT 8, 9 here in the next, as soon as we get back from the break.
All right. That is it. I mean, I have a string of thank yous.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But thank you, everyone, for attending today, parents, students, and then also my esteemed panelists and friends here as well. We really appreciate it. For all the families who are fasting for Ramadan, Maghrib is less than a half an hour away. All right. So we're almost there. All right. So may Allah accept your iftar. Ameen. And then also as well, keep in mind that the Eid break is going to be from May 1st to May 9th. We return back from classes for Tuesday, May 10th. Come to school tomorrow, though. Come to school tomorrow. But Eid break will be at that time. For AP students, unfortunately, you will be taking your AP exams, as we talked about, during Eid break and the following week as well. Any closing remarks from everyone?
Just the course request forms and all these AP options will be open tomorrow. If students didn't get any of the AP courses that they wanted and they're not showing up on their schedule or their course request form, they need to speak with their teacher. Again, the teachers are doing recommendations at the moment. That's going to be a fluent sort of thing over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So if you haven't got, let's say you want to take the AP English in 10th grade and your teacher hasn't recommended you to take it, have a conversation with the teacher so that they can have an honest conversation with you about your level. But at this stage, if they haven't recommended you to take that course, they don't think that, you can take that course. But again, we're open to conversation. Me, Mr. Wessel, the teachers, we want to listen to you. If you're really adamant that you want to take an AP course, and you've got good reasoning behind it, just come and have that conversation with us, and we're happy to assist.
Yeah, definitely. Any other questions from here on out, you feel free to email the principals directly, and you can see Mr. Cox as well, all the principals in school. Or if you don't really know any other email addresses, you can email me, and I'll be a pass-through to get those answers for you, okay? Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you here. We're going to let everyone go. Thank you so much. And as they say in this land, ma salama. All right. Have a good one, guys.